Hi everybody! You're seeing me in all my golfing glory today, so wanted to come back live today and talk a little bit more about how I got to where I am on this entrepreneurial journey of mine. So yesterday I talked a lot about how I had already been getting itchy about what I wanted to do next in my next chapter of my life, and had a company shut down on me and forced me into figuring out really what I wanted to do and going through kind of a self-check of what was my true knowledge base, my true passion, and how was I going to meld those in together to create something different for myself. So I kind of took us to somewhere around April of 2015, and so what I wanted to talk about next was what happened when I thought about what I wanted to do and started creating this business. What happened in April of 2015 is I figured out that I really wanted to speak on productivity and efficiency, on how to be proactive, on how to look at what was really important to you and start working from there and living from there and making decisions from there, as well as looking at your calendar and how you're going to implement things. And so really everything that I do started taking shape in April, and it came into a talk that I developed initially. And so I went and talked to a business coach that spring and told her I wanted to be a speaker. And from there, the conversation went sort of like this: well, if you want to be a speaker, that's great. Hello. But I don't think that you're ever going to make any money as a speaker. What are you going to do with the people you speak to? And I was like, you don't make money as a speaker? So from there, we really built out my first program, which became my Unstuck, the whole base of Unstuck, although it wasn't called that initially. And so what I did was took this idea from being a speaker and the topics that I was speaking on and created a one-day workshop from there, and started offering these workshops once a month. Whoo, talk about craziness. I was literally networking everywhere that I could, as often as I could, all the way between Denver and Colorado Springs, and meeting as many people as I could. And some of you might be on this journey at this point where you're not sure how to make a shift in what you're doing or how you're showing up. And let me tell you, it's exhausting, but the best thing that I ever did was figure out what networking groups I could go to and show up every single week or month or whatever it was, and make sure that I showed up not just physically, but I was in it. I was determined that people would learn who I was, what my brand was, what I stood for, and what I was doing. And I asked very specific things. Hello. And so to me, that's the next step of how I got to where I am. It was putting together a website that showed off who I was. It was figuring out what colors brought to life and spoke to people and spoke to me. That was a little painful. We might talk about that sometime. But so it was that initial, this is what I want to speak about. Oh, speaking isn't really the way that I'm going to make all the money. So let's turn that talk into a workshop that I'm going to offer month after month after month to start building my business. So that is the next step of how I got to where I am. And remember, this whole next week or so, I'm just talking about the whole journey that I've been on and my lessons that I've learned, and what is going to be next. Hi, Shelly. Hi. So I'm really just talking about the journey so that we can get you excited. I can get you excited about what's coming up next. And the very next thing is something that we did last year, which is my Unstuck event, and it's October 19th and 20th. I would love for you to put that on your calendar, but I want you to really think about what I talked about today, where if you are in a place where you're trying to figure some things out, Think about how you can tweak it, how you can show up, how you can make people really know who you are and what you stand for. And Shelly Vanderlindy's here right now too, and on here, and I know that she has gone through this whole process a few years ago, kind of side by side with me, and getting people to know who she was and what she stood for, and what she was going to be doing and how she was showing up. So there's a lot of us on this journey. Just ask questions if you have them, and I will see you tomorrow. I don't know what time, but I'll be here live talking about the next things that happen once I launched these workshops and my website and my brand and all of that, and started showing up at all of these networking events. You guys have a great day, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Until then, make shift happen.